When it comes to creating dramas, Korea is known for inducing emotions of sadness and anger after fans have finished the series. But what is regarded as one of the best Korean cinematic films is none other than Train to Busan. This uber-bloody zombie movie captures a dystopian society in which hungry zombies can transmit a virus in just a number of minutes before they have more people join them on the hunt. Created in 2016 and directed by Yeon Sang-Ho, the film follows a group of people who are stuck on a bullet train surrounded by hordes of zombies within the other carriages. As the world around them crumbles due to the increased number of undead, the remaining unaffected must travel to a safer location to survive. Being a huge hit during 2016, the fans wanted more. They needed a sequel, and Sang-Ho answered. Peninsula, the sequel to Train to Busan, was originally set to release in July 2020 in South Korea and August 2020 in America. Before you watch the movie, we thought we'd give you our list of things to look out for in Peninsula. Before we start, if you guys find this video interesting, please let us know by smashing the like button. And if you enjoyed the content on our video playlist and want to see more, just click subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to get the latest updates. Peninsula takes place 4 years in the same universe as the Train to Busan. After the first massive zombie outbreak, soldier Jeon Sang-Ho escapes overseas until he's given a mission to go back to the Korean peninsula. The mission is to find a truck that is carrying bags crammed with $20 million in cash along with a trio of reckless fortune seekers. However, as they are on the lookout to find the truck, the undead within the wasteland are on the prowl for human flesh. Besides having to fight the battle of the horde of zombies, Jeon Sang-Ho and his crew must go head to head with dangerous mercenaries of the main antagonist, Sergeant Hwang, that reside in Unit 613 and are known to roam the Dark City. Will they be able to escape the city filled with danger and live to tell the tale? Now that we've gotten the plot out of the way, here are things to look out for before watching the film. Number 1. It's not a direct sequel. Sadly, no. In Peninsula, you won't be seeing what had happened to Soo-an and Sung-yeon after they're confirmed safe by the soldiers. Despite its English title bearing a reference to Train to Busan, it isn't a direct sequel, but rather a standalone film that takes place within the same zombie-infested universe in its 2016 zombie action thriller. Peninsula seems to have no ties to the original cast in the first film. Jeon Sang-Ho probably wasn't there to see Soo-an and Sung-yeon off before he took his trip to the peninsula. Number 2. There's a new composer. What really sets a good movie apart from others is the memorable soundtrack that plays at the exact moment in the crucial scene. Train to Busan has done this really well, with Jang Yong-gyu, who is known for his sombre piano and lush violins that gave the film a perfect, heartfelt score. I'm sorry to announce, but he is no longer the composer of the OSTs. Lee Sung-hyun, or more known as Morg, is renowned for composing scores of over 3 dozen films in the last decade, including the critically acclaimed 2010 thriller Saw the Devil and 2011 drama The Crucible. Morg has raked in numerous awards for his compositions, including the Best Original Score at last year's Miami International Film Festival for Burning. He has also won an award for Best Music at the 2016 Korean Association of Film Critics Awards. So don't fear, we also have a talented composer on our hands. There's no need to panic. Number 3. There will be guns. What really set apart Train to Busan from other zombie thrillers was that there was not a single use of a gun. Throughout the film, we discover that zombies' weaknesses are darkness and doors. Once blinded, they seem to be attracted to sound, which got them to run in hordes to the location. Although the movie had featured an undead military horde, we never saw any of them fire guns. Just from the trailer of Peninsula, you can see that there will be a lot of firepower. This is partially due to how the focal point of the story is different. In Train to Busan, the main characters of the story are civilians who are trying to commute from point A to point B via a train, so they are unarmed. In Peninsula, the perspective of the story is told through a marine captain who was told to return to the peninsula to get cash from a truck, with the likelihood that he is armed in case something happens. Number 2. It has twice the budget. You heard that right, Train to Busan has a budget of $8.5 million. It has a modest sum when compared to Hollywood projects, but the film still managed to send hordes of zombies flying due to a discharged flaming train. Each horde of disjointed, milky-eyed zombies had made it seem much more realistic than other zombie movies with a higher budget. It had raked in 10 times the sum at the box office. With the success of the first movie, Peninsula will work with a budget of $16 million. Let's see what they're able to come up with this time. Number 5. Peninsula broke records in South Korea. It is no doubt, following the release of Peninsula, the movie had become a smash hit within its first week of release. In its opening day, it took more than $2.4 million from 2,338 screens, making it the most lucrative South Korean film of the year so far. After this, the movie had then went on to make $13.2 million in the first 5 days in South Korea, so it's safe to say, when it comes to UAE, fans will have high expectations. Things we want to see. There seems to be a lot of things that Train to Busan did extremely well. If Peninsula wants to live up to its predecessor, it should probably follow the same principles that we're about to mention. Number 1. The origins of the outbreak. A sequel should have the answers to what was left out in the first film. One of the most burning questions the fans always ask is where the outbreak had originated from. At the beginning of the movie, the only information we get is that there is a leak within a chemical plant, and that Soku receives a call from one of his co-workers that the company was at fault for saving a biological company from bankruptcy. Besides that, we don't know if the plant was set off intentionally or accidentally, or if there was something else going on behind the screen. Number 2. Zombie behavior and a lot more. In other zombie flicks, we are introduced to walkers who are slow but aggressive. We are then shown zombies who can run as fast as the ones in World War Z, but even better. The behavior of zombies in Train to Busan is worth mentioning. These hordes seem to be extremely aggressive once sensing human similarity to the film 28 Days Later, and when they lay dormant in darkness, it's similar to George A. Romero's Dead anthology. It was interesting to see a mix of these types, meaning that the crew had to be a bit more creative in avoiding these monsters. This time, in fact, we'll be seeing John Sok enter a city filled with zombies, that is, more angles to watch out for, and the possibility that the zombies will always be ready to feast on some humans. That's all we have for this time around. Have you seen Peninsula or Train to Busan yet? We wouldn't recommend this as a family movie due to its gruesome and violent nature. However, we would recommend this to teenagers who are looking for some cool flicks to watch for a movie night. What moment was your favourite in Train to Busan? Were there any things that we missed or should have included? Let us know down in the comments below. This has been Music Chess, your zombie apocalyptic survivor, signing out.